Hey, so I wanted to let you know about our new men's grooming podcast. It's called SPIFFY. It is from us, Blueprint by Adam Hurly. I am Adam Hurly. I'm a men's grooming journalist, a long time for GQ, Esquire, Forbes Bedded, Men's Health, Men's Journal, yada, yada, yada. I wanted to point to a recent episode that we did, one of our very first episodes. It is with my friend, Brennan Kilbane of Business of Fashion. He covers the beauty industry for Business of Fashion. And we chatted about why there isn't a Sephora for men, why we don't have a space for this category that is going to be worth $100 billion very soon. It's not a woe is men kind of conversation, but it's definitely a where is the men's grooming store, and not just a wall relegated to the side next to Kylie Cosmetics. I hope you'll check out this podcast. You can go to grooming.tips to find a link for it. You can also find it in the show notes below. It is called SPIFFY. But at the end of that episode, Brennan and I sort of pitched our different ideas for what a men's grooming store concept might look like. So I want to cut to us talking about that and just sort of pitching our ideas. Above all, I want to know what you think should be in a men's grooming store. Now, something that would invite the guy to walk in and have an experience based on the things that he might be interested in. Really, everything is on the table here, so share any thoughts or feelings you have. And in the meantime, I hope you will subscribe to SPIFFY in your podcast player. And here I am in conversation with Brennan Kilbane from Business of Fashion. And this with us both talking about what our ideal men's retail concept would be. I'll let you go first. I also am curious what you might name it.
Okay, my concept that I'm pitching, and by the way, I've never operated a store before. I'm a veteran retail employee, but I'm sure that someone who has run a store is going to listen to this idea and be like, that would never work because you need more square footage per whatever.
Same. I've worked in the food industry, but not in the retail industry like this.
So I named mine, I love this name. I named it Adam's Original Man.
Wait, Brennan.
Is that what you named yours?
I named mine Adams.
Well, we had the right instinct because I do think a male name is important in some way. Look at Aesop, or Horace.
Exactly.
It's primordial.
Adam is the OG man.
Adam is the OG man. So in my concept, the full title is Adam's Original Man, but hopefully as it became adopted, people would either call it Adams or Original Man. I am envisioning a sort of shop front with a small but mighty selection of great vetted brands. But then I envision that in the back, there are a couple of different rooms for various head to toe treatments. I think that there would be small facial opportunities. You can get an express facial, you could get an hour facial. There's one treatment room and then some room or space for nails. I think that especially this kind of medical pedicure, more and more guys get their nails done, I think, because they're sort of seeing it as basic hygiene and as an investment in their appearance. But this medical pedicure stuff, I think, is really, really popular for men. I know a lot of guys who go multiple times a month to go get medical pedicures. I feel something like that where, you can come into a space, they can take you back into one of these rooms and they can basically clean you up with every possible tool, your skin, your nails, your hair, your beard, and then sort of release you back, but also give you product recommendations and things like that alongside it.
You are much more experienced and service driven in your concept.
I think so, yeah. Because I'm trying to figure out what would get a man in there. And I'm not sure if they're walking in off the street to just shop, but I think certainly if they're coming in for a service or coming in for a recurring service. Yeah, tell me about your Adams.
My store, also called Adams, or...
I also stole your name, which was not...
I gave mine my own name, so that's... I don't know which is... I wish mine was called Brennan's. Okay, so in mine, I have a whole list here, but I also want to just see what comes top of mind from what I recall, because to me, I'm betting my chips on the more clinical apothecary type model. And I'm imagining, I was just in Chicago and I was at Mer's Apothecary. I want this pared down version of that where you have your cologne bar, as they do there, and you can experience things, try before you buy. So I would really want to hit on the fragrances aspect of it and offer that as a service. But then I think because there's so much education that goes into purchases around razors, around electric razors, beard trimmers, body groomers, blow dryers, I would really love to arm one or two people, almost like Best Buy style, with explaining all of these devices that cost a premium. I mean, they can cost anywhere from $20 up to 500, and making sure that people understand what they're buying and baking in that education. And so the products are, there's a few aisles of those there, but the apothecary clinical aspect of it there would be hitting them with the ointments and the balms, the hemorrhoid creams, the foot powders, again, the Dr. Scholl's, those sorts of things. I would want those in the store as well, just for the functional reason of a guy saying, I need X, Y, and Z. This store has it. And since I'm in there, I may as well also buy my shampoo, my conditioner. And I would also want there to be some education around things like shampoo and conditioner. And trying to get guys to divorce themselves from the 2-in-1 and the 3-in-1 and figuring out what fits their type, but having the education baked into it for them. Because that education also changes from the length of your hair, the curl pattern, the amount of oil that your scalp produces. And so I would just want there to be people on the floor or just available to answer these questions. I just want you and me working there, basically, and telling them all these things. And I think the other thing would be the quick cleanups. I think that would have to be essential. And I don't know if in my store I have a lot of room for like a barber chair or even like separate rooms for facials or whatnot. But I do think someone is there and can give you a neckline cleanup. Maybe you have a meeting that day or you have a date and you just want to tidy something like that up. The same way I always remember from New York walking through Soho on a Saturday morning and you see the young women going into Sephora to do their makeup. Maybe they're walking home from a late night out or something like that. And they go there and they walk in and they come out looking fresh faced. And I would want the guy to have a similar experience to that at Adams.
I like that. I could see somebody, coming in for their sort of, beauty sundries, but then wanting to get a cleanup or something. I like it. I'd go.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I would go to yours. I would love to
Thank you so much. But we both know that neither of them will ever happen because men don't shop for, well, although we'll see. I guess we'll see.
We will see. And I do think the ESOP thing is on the right track where you have to give them a reason to come in the store and you have to give them a reason to come offline because these guys shop online. These guys shop for convenience. These guys add to cart very quickly and they have their Amazon Prime and they're done and they don't have to think about it. So you have to give them a reason to think about it. But if those are the purchases that they're quickly adding to cart, then make those the secondary thing that the store or the experience offers and offer them something else to come in the door. I think it can happen, but at a large scale. I think it can also happen on a small scale in certain markets, but can it happen? Can we get 100 of them across the US to start? I don't know. Well, Sephora, call us.
We're available.
We sure
We are free. I would love to work on this project, LVMH. Let us know.
Brennan, it is a joy to even see your face, much less to talk to you and to have your wisdom. And I thank you for coming on Spiffy today.
Truly my pleasure. Thank you so much, Adam. It was a blast as always, and I'll talk to you soon.